Hey, John here. You may have heard Google's making a change in its search. I believe there's a big algo update coming up, but it's already been in effect. And this is going to have a huge impact on one particular ad unit you need to have on your sites if you monetize with display ads. I do. I use these ads. These are more important than ever. Now, the update is this. Basically, what Google is doing is when people search particularly long phrases and questions, Google is jumping them into a website in the search results, but not to the start of the article. They're actually jumping visitors directly to the portion of the article that Google considers it the most relevant to the actual search inquiry. I actually think this is pretty cool for user experience. I like it as a user. It's happened to me. I've searched and Google has jumped me over into a middle of an article. So I think that's really cool. Here's the problem, right? The most valuable ads on any website typically are the ones above the fold. There's usually you can have one ad there, but that ad unit is very, very valuable. And the reason for that is most people who come to a site see it. So the exposure is awesome. But if Google's jumping visitors into the middle of content, they're not going to see those above fold ads. They may not see any ads unless you use a sticky. And I highly recommend you get a sticky on your website. Okay, now there are two types of stickies. Okay, there are the sidebar stickies. They're only going to show on desktop. And there are the ones that are in the actual content itself. Now this is on desktop. If a visitor is on mobile, there's only one type, right? And that's called an anchor ad, but it's also sticky. So how to actually deploy that is going to be different depending on the type of device, and I'm going to get to that. So how do you actually get them on your site? Well, it's simple. It's a snippet of code that an ad network will provide you, or in some cases, depending how your site's integrated with the ad network, it's a flip of a switch, or just contact your rep and ask them to turn it on. So you have to be very, very, very careful if you use AdSense for your display ads. And the reason is this, is AdSense will not permit a sticky ad on desktops. That's very important because you can use a plugin to turn pretty much anything into a sticky something on your site, but you don't want to do that with your AdSense ads because that violates their terms of service. AdSense will provide what's called a sticky or an anchor ad on mobile. So if you are using AdSense and you're happy with AdSense and a lion's share of your traffic is on mobile, then just go with the anchor and you won't be losing out. But if you get a decent amount of desktop traffic, which is more valuable for ads, then you should really consider about incorporating an ad network that will offer the sticky ad unit. Now, there are lots of ad networks out there, and I haven't used them all. The main ones I suggest typically, if you get started and you're with AdSense, but you start hitting 10,000 plus page views per month, Ezoic does a really good job. The revenue is really good. I was with them for years. The revenue is awesome, user-friendly, good support, and they offer a sticky. They have a ton of other features to check out that for publishers, so it's really a great platform and an excellent option for smaller sites. Now, once your site gets into the higher traffic levels, such as 50,000 visitors a month or 100,000 page views per month, you have additional ad networks available to you, and they are AdThrive and Mediavine. Mediavine, I believe at this time, has a 50,000 visitor minimum per month threshold to even apply, and AdThrive has 100,000 page views per month. Now I'm with AdThrive. The thing is, even if you have the traffic volume, there's not a sure thing you're actually going to get in. You have to apply, they're going to vet your site, and then they're going to either approve or deny you. Now, I had way more than the threshold a few years ago. I applied, I was denied by both. They didn't give me an answer or an explanation or anything like that. I was just sort of like scratching my head like, it was weird because I typically didn't, I had enough traffic where I didn't get rejected by any ad networks, but they did for whatever reason. I just applied again after a year or two and was accepted. So if you get rejected, don't take it too badly. When I write or talk about sticky ad units, I do get questions from people such as, well, isn't it really, really bad for user experience? Like, aren't these super annoying ads? And some people will just say, listen, I I don't want to annoy my readers or visitors with these ads. Okay, well, that's fair. Yes, you know what? Sticky ads are annoying. So are video ads. Video ads are something you should use if you're looking to really crank out the revenue on your site as well. That's for another topic for another day. But if you really are in need of actually generating decent revenue on your site, sticky ads, you got to use them. Okay, if you're going to monetize a site, no matter how you monetize, there is a cost, and that cost is user experience. You just have to decide how far down the spectrum on the annoying side of things you want to go, or do you want to keep it like super pristine and pure and maybe put one ad, but you're going to give up a ton of revenue. So it's your call. I mean, if you're getting 50 million page views per month, your one ad somewhere, maybe in the middle or at the bottom, is going to generate a ton of traffic. But there aren't many of us website publishers getting 50 million page views per month. I'm not anywhere close to that. So what do I do in order to make half decent ad revenue? I'm on the aggressive side of the spectrum, and that includes sticky ads. So it's your call. In the past, often I would think to myself, I'm not going to do that. That's just going a little bit too far with ads on my site. I don't know, it's pretty annoying. But I'll tell you what, when you try certain things, eventually you see how much revenue it might generate, and then you make a decision. So I would suggest you actually give it a shot and see how much revenue it generates for you, because this was the exact case with video ads. I actually didn't want to put video ads on my site. I don't really like them as a visitor. I particularly loathe the ones where the volume kicks in right away. I will refuse to use those. I do have video ads, but there's no sound that comes from them. But I resisted video ads for a long time because I found them annoying. But I decided to give one a shot, and the revenue was so good. It was undeniable. I would be giving up so much revenue by not having them that I bit the bullet, and it's a cost. And does it hurt user experience? It does. It hasn't seemed to hurt search traffic at all, which is great. Any ad that I think would hurt search traffic is one I wouldn't use. Stickies will not hurt your search traffic. In fact, Google AdSense provides anchor code, so you get sticky on mobile. So Google's okay with that. The one type of ad I will not use are interstitials. That's the one where as soon as a visitor arrives to your site, like a full screen pops up and blocks access, and they either have to click an ad or they have to click, skip this ad, or they got to wait for the countdown timer from 5 or 10. Those I won't do. Those are prestitials. I won't do those. I believe Google doesn't like those, and so I don't do them. They are insanely annoying. Forbes used to have those for the longest time. In fact, I would never go to Forbes just because that thing annoyed me. So we all have our threshold. You got to pick. But as far as I'm concerned, the revenue benefits of stickies far outweigh any sort of user experience costs. Are easy to X out. So I suggest you give it a shot with this new Google search feature, we could call it, where they're jumping in the middle of content. It's going to be more important than ever. Thanks for watching.